see if it works. If it doesn't work, I don't think we recorded the last one. I'm recording.
It says recording.
Yeah, I just clicked it.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, so let's get started since there's so many on already, guys. Thank you so much for coming. We just wanted to hang out with all the people that are rocking their business and offer tips, suggestions, answer questions, that sort of stuff. So the topic ideas that I received from others that wanted to talk about stuff was how to seal the deal with potentials, loyals, and distributors. And then also we were just talking about how to do follow-ups with leads that you get from events. And I would include in that like blitzing too, since that's a similar to kind of like cold lead. So if we want to start with that, since we were kind of chit-chatting on that, let's do that. So anybody have some great tips on how to reach out to people that are cold leads from blitzing or events? Haley, you're muted. It looks like you're trying to talk.
I really wish I could like see everybody on my phone. I can only see like 4 people at a time. I wanna view. But we're talking about cold leads and events. I have not, Mariah's my girl who's been running the events lately, and I really love the way that she runs them. So I would love for her to give a couple of tips on how she does that. But as for following up, I would do it how I would do it any other blitz. And just pop in and say, hey, I wanted to just see how you were doing and see if you had given any other thought to, what we had talked about on whatever date. There's this amazing deal going on. Would you be interested? And just keep it super, super simple and short. I really like to just keep things simple.
Yeah, I think something I would add to that, Haley, too, is the last event that I did, and I got some advice from Mel Nelson and Bonnie Altrudo, and they told us to, when people are signing up for your raffle, right, we didn't leave the fishbowl or whatever out for them to put in. We had them give it to us so that we could secretly write notes. So we were like making it personal, like, oh, hey, when's your wedding? And we're so excited. And then we started figuring out, are they having a party with their girlfriends? How many people are with them? What's their wedding color? So then that way, instead of sending a mass blind copied email or a mass blind copy text, I can now say like, oh, hey, how's your whatever going, and make it personal. And that was my 4th event I've done, and that was probably the smartest thing that I did with that.
Awesome. I love that idea. I do that as well. I think that makes it so much easier to reach out and not make it awkward. Anyone else have ideas? Okay. No one's sharing ideas.
Are you talking about events, Angela? I'm sorry. I still have a crazy cat awake right now, hence the reason I'm late.
Yeah, just how to reach out to cold leads to try and get them to respond.
Sure. I do the same thing that Mariah does. I don't ever set out a bowl. I only take information. I actually just take a notebook to events, like a small notebook, and then I just tape their entry right into the notebook and then write my notes right next to it.
Yeah. And I also, with the fishbowl or with the free drawing thing, something else that I've been doing, and I do the same thing when I do like an online contest, is I will send a voice online for Facebook. I'll send a voice message to everybody who did not win. And I'll just say like, hey, thanks so much for participating in my drawing for St. Patrick's Day. Your name was not picked, but I'd love to send you a free sample. Are you interested? So then I'm still reaching out to them. They're still getting something if they respond. And I've gotten a lot more success with that, especially in the last 3 months. Every month this year so far, I've done a drawing once a month for a free full-size product under $50. And so I'm getting a lot of response from that. And I basically am getting probably 10 new PLCs every time I do that. So, and that's just, yeah, it's worked out well to give out free green samples. I'm going through greens like hotcakes, but it works out well.
One other tip that I take away from those things too, or those from events and those contacts, I learned this from Lori Conway. I think maybe my very first conference. She saves people in her phone, and now I do too, as PDT or PLC. And that's how I put them before I put their name. So if it's someone from an event and I get their info, or if it's someone that I've blitzed, they go in my phone as PDT Sarah from Target or PDT, whatever it is. And then when BOGO or something like that comes around, there's like a huge list right there of people that I can no, thank you. Of people that I can text right from there. And they're all right next to each other. So that's a nice organizational hack that I was taught that I really like. I feel like it's a really good one. And it doesn't just have to be with events. You can use that with people, blitzed people as well.
Yeah. I also like to, I just thought about this. Haley's tip to add people from Instagram to Facebook. And I've been doing that a little bit with those event leads as well. Once I get a conversation going, I'll be like, hey, it's so much easier to do this on Instant Messenger, or I have a video I want to send you, or I'd love to invite you to a virtual party. If you want to add me on Facebook, here's my link. And I've done that with like the last event that I did, and that was helpful. And I added 3-4 friends.
While Mariah and I were at the last event that we did, I was standing in line, the drink line, and the girl and I that was next to me, it was a rather longer line, and we were chatting, and we were just talking about wedding stuff, and I was like, oh, you're just so cool. Oh, you're from Madison. Cool, you go to UW-Madison. Why don't you just add me on Facebook? I can tell you about this wedding resale stuff. I just found a different reason of any way that I could get her on my Facebook. So now we're just friends for being friends of wedding stuff. Not that really necessarily leads into like her being a PDT or something, but now I can build a relationship from that.
Well, and it's one new Facebook friend.
Yeah.
It's another friend, which sometimes that's hard too, to make meaningful relationships and add new people to Facebook sometimes.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that was brought up, because I totally was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll just add everybody to Facebook. And it's like, because I'm just trying to like plan out how I'm going to reach out to, I have a ton of leads right now, and I'm just trying to like figure out the best way, because I was just like, add them on Facebook, but I think that might be stalkerish. So
yeah, I would get them responding like at least to a text message before you go that creepy route, because that does seem a little stalker-like. You're like, this weird girl added me on Facebook. So does that help with following up with stuff? Okay. I don't want to move along if we're still like, you're still wanting more answers.
I think one thing super quick, Angela, if you don't mind me just pouncing in here.
Please do.
My little buddy here has finally left. But another thing to think about too, if you have all of these leads, Mariah and Haley, from that event, is I am still pulling LCs from events that I did 3 years ago. Yeah, like still keeping them in my notebook and on my list, and still messaging them when deals happen, or if I'm running a thing similar, I do something similar to what Angela does sometimes, do little raffles or things like that. I signed someone, not March, but the month before March.
February.
Oh, I'm done being pregnant. I'm done. But yeah, in February, that I had signed from, or that I had met at an event in Madison when I lived there, when I first started almost 4 years ago.
Nice.
How often?
I look at too, because I always feel like I have an event from like a year ago, and I'm like, okay, I still have this pile of people that haven't responded. Like, I don't know, I feel weird about messaging, but now I will. Perfect. Oh, well.
Yeah, I also sometimes, Tina, I think you're going to ask, how often do you reach out to those people? Mm-hmm. It just depends. It depends on if I have something meaningful to say. Kind of like the BOGO, though, that's one of my very first groups, maybe my second group that I go to is that PDT list. Also, if I create like a new newsletter from a product that I'm really proud of or that I really like, I'll add it to them or text it to them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't keep track. I basically just keep them on my list until they tell me to take them off.
Right. I have a lot of people from vendor events that from a long time ago. Well, it seems like a long time ago, and they've never responded back at all. Even if they seem super interested at the event. Like one guy in particular, we were talking about him being a customer, and he just automatically said he wanted to be a distributor. And he was all like, he stood there for like 30 minutes and talked to us, and he never once responded back to me at all. Calling, texting, nothing. I don't know if he was trying to pick us up or what.
Good way to look at it. Probably.
That was probably it.
Well, sorry.
Well, I think, I mean, it's uncomfortable for me, but I think I've heard others have success with that. Like, you know what? I've reached out to you several times. I thought we had a great, I thought we had a great thing going. I thought you were really interested in becoming a distributor. I'd really love to talk to you more about that. Just let me know if you don't want to be on my list. Like, this is my last contact. Please let me know if you want to be off my list. I mean, if he's not responding anyways, then I don't know. It might be worth a try.
Right. I hate to say, let me know if you want to be off my list, because they might change their mind in 6 months and there I'm gone because I took them off my list.
Okay. Good point, Tina.
But that's why I've never said that before, because you never know.
That's
anyone.
true. That is true. Oh, Mandy, why do you do that to me? So the next topic that somebody had suggested is sealing the deal with potentials. Well, number one, BOGO. This is a great time to seal the deal with potentials. Jesse, do you want to talk about your recent success with LCs and how you were sealing the deal, being a little red?
Yeah. I've had a great last 2 months with signing loyal customers. More in the last 2 months or the last 60 days than I've ever done in a 60-day period. This is hard for me to do and hard for me to say, but honestly, I've just been a little bit more aggressive lately. I've done different avenues than just Facebook Messenger. I don't know if it's just changing it up that's helped, but I've been doing a lot of text messaging versus Facebook Messenger. I've been getting a lot of responses back. I'm flat out just kind of asking like, hey, kind of similar to what Angela said of, I thought we had this great thing going. I'm not necessarily saying exactly that, but just saying, hey, you know what? I know 7 months ago, we talked a ton about this hair, skin, and nails. I'm starting and I'm not making something up, but then maybe I will start up, a 90-day hair trial or whatever it is, but say, hey, I'm getting something started. I know I talked to you about this 7 months ago. Now is the right time. Let's do it. Can I get your order in today? Things like that. I've left voice messages to people as well, not just text messages and not the Facebook Messenger. Like I've just been, I love Facebook, obviously, but I've been doing a little more personal and a little bit more aggressive. Not email, not Facebook, but either texting or calling. And it's been working really well for me. Maybe some people are just surprised because that's not my typical personality. So like, oh gosh, yes, what's happening to you? I'm not really sure why, but it's been a really fruitful 60 days for me. And yeah, I'm doing just the personal touches and going the extra mile, calling someone. It's sad when texting becomes going the extra mile over Facebook, but just doing some of those things that normally I would just rely on Facebook Messenger for. And I've been just kind of going old school a little bit. And like I said, being a little bit more aggressive and trying to have at least a pink personality when I'm doing this. Not necessarily, I don't think I can go all the way red, but more pink than yellow.
Hot pink.
It's working really well. So I'm keeping it up.
Hey, Jessie, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, please do.
So when you do this, is it always texting or messaging people that, like, again, you've put in your phone through events or people you've talked about product before or the opportunity, or have you done any, like, just pulled up your contacts and said, I'm gonna message them today or text them?
It's been basically a combination, Dondi. So what I do is I do a 6 list. I'm a 6 lister still.
Okay.
I haven't transferred over to the calendar method, which I really want to, but I still do a 6 list and I put it in there. So like I'm calling 6 people this morning.
Okay.
And I will just find 6 people, whether it's, okay, I'm going to do this PDT or this PLC, or
Great.
just saying like, hey, this is a good friend who's a teacher. She has not tried greens yet, and I think that's insane. So I'm going to call her today and let her know that today is the day I think she should try it.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Or I know someone who's going. I called someone 2 weeks ago who I knew was going on a spring break trip, and mentioned the greens because I knew it was just one with her hubby. The kids weren't going, so I thought, hey, this might be a really nice time for you to try those greens we were talking about. They're perfect for a hangover cure. Give you some stamina on the beach a little bit. But yeah, that one worked out really well too. So I contact different groups of people. The hardest group for me to contact is the people I know personally. The easiest group for me to contact is people from events or things like that. The hardest is the people I know.
Yes, agreed.
But I will write that in my 6 list and make myself do it. Like you are doing this, like you have to do it. And the other thing too is I'm busy and I'm driving around a lot. And then I feel like I'm getting a little bit farther too that way. I'm putting Post-it notes with people's phone numbers on them and calling while I'm driving.
For your 6 list, do you just kind of try to get it done throughout the day, or do you do power hours?
It depends. It really depends. Days that my daughter's in preschool, I do about a power 45 just because I drop her off, I go to the gym, and then I come home, and I have basically exactly an hour when I get home. So I work for 45 minutes in the shower and then run back to get her. So it's about a power 45. Days that I don't, my goal is to get 2 things done by the time I take my kids to school. If I can do that, then I'm on like a pretty good, a good push for the day. But the reason the 6 list I think works super good for me is when I'm disorganized. My thoughts are also disorganized. It's just not my paper pencil skills. It's also, I have very disorganized thoughts. And that keeps me on track. And then at the end of the day, it reminds me of like, hey, nice work. You did this. Because there's some days, I'm sure you guys feel like this too, or I hope you do. I hope I'm not alone, where you go to bed and you're just like, gosh, what did I even do today? I know I did work. I know I did stuff, but I don't even know what I did. And I love that list because it gives me like a quantifiable thing to say, yes, I did this. Like, this is what I did today, and it keeps me on track.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's really helping me. I've been doing it now for over a year, almost 2 years, I guess. I don't know exactly when I started it, but I feel like I've been talking about it for a long time. The other thing it really helps, it was when I got a passion planner is when I started it, because then I wrote it in the side of my passion planner. But I'm just rambling, guys. I feel like, but the other thing, it really helps me to stay on task, but it also just helps me to not waste time. I know a lot of us don't have a lot of extra time. You're a student, you're a mom, you're whatever, and it helps me to not waste time.
That is helpful, because I do feel like I am wasting time, and where it could be spent intentionally. And then I also feel like I have slipped into a little bit of management mode, whereas I forgot to do what I was doing in the beginning to get me to where I've gotten,
Mm-hmm.
That is really helpful. So thank you.
Well, and Haley, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I just talked with Angela a little bit about that this weekend, and I talked with Jennifer too. I don't know if she's on here, but that was something that was my push in February. After January, I just said, man, I am just doing so much trying to teach and train and all of these things that I just wasn't doing things for my own personal business. And I could feel it. Like I could feel that I wasn't. And I almost needed to kind of show myself a little bit of like, wow, you still totally can do this. Like you still have the skills 4 years later to do it. It wasn't just a fluke. You didn't just have them your first 5 months and then, prayed that that everything kept going. Where that was really good for me to just kind of see like, yeah, I still have the skills, and so does everyone on here. Everyone has the skills. But slipping into management mode, especially as a leader or as an emergent leader, is something to really be cognizant of. There are I don't mean to use the word management, but there are some leadership things that are different now than when you began. And as your teams grow, definitely some things that are different, but you need to continue to do what got you there, just to keep growing.
And something, Haley, that I think I talked to Ashley and Jesse, I don't know, maybe Donnie about recently, was I felt the same way. And I was like, I need to get back, but I also like can't just leave all of those management, like leadership things behind. So I looked at my days and figured out like, okay, Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm pretty busy, but Monday and Wednesday, I'm going to do like team stuff. I'm going to be reaching out to my team. I'm going to be like doing more self-development on Monday, Wednesdays, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm doing stuff for my business. So that's when I'm cold messaging. That's when I'm planning posts for my business. That's when I'm doing follow-ups with PDTs and PLCs. And for me, just in my head, dividing it up like that and then writing my list, my to-do list on those days accordingly. Sometimes it's 3 things, sometimes it's 6. But I know Monday, Wednesdays are team things, and Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or whatever it is, are like my business things.
Okay, I love that. Thank you.
Can we go back to sealing the deal? Because I know that was a question for some people. We talked a little bit about loyal customers. Something that I love for distributors that I want to say came from Pam Sauter or someone up there, but was on the scale of 1 to 3 or 1 to 5, I think it was. 1 being like, leave me the heck alone, take me off your list, and 5 being, yep, I'm ready to sign up. Where are you? And just like posing that question, I think it can get to, or try to get to, the root of why people are having cold feet. Like it's the money, or it's the, I'm afraid I'm not going to be supported, or whatever that may be. I think that sort of a little bit of redness with a touch of organization in the scale can be helpful for getting people to explain that stuff.
I used that. Cami Dempsey, she said that on a video. I don't know if she said it first, but I used that and I got several responses. And it's really good because it lets you know how serious they are about being a distributor.
Yes.
So it's like my new thing, my new favorite message.
Nice.
It helps you to become more personal. Am I muted?
No, you're fine.
Yeah, sorry. Like I do that all the time. I mute myself and I start gabbing away. But it helps us to be more personal too when we're taking that time to ask someone, like, hey, what's up? I thought we really talked about this. Where are you on the scale? I want to know how much I should be badgering you. I like to word things in a funny way. I think that works out good for me to kind of be silly. So I always kind of twist something and make it kind of funny, even though I have an awful sense of humor, but it seems to kind of go far.
Oh, I poke for myself all the time. I'll say like, hey, pesty rap lady here. Mm-hmm. I get the feeling that I'm being ignored. And I would say I have a 95% response rate with that message. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to ignore you. And then, I get blocked the other 5%, but whatever.
Do you guys just use that for potential distributors or for customers too?
I do it for both.
Okay.
Or, if you download Bitmoji, you guys, there is a priceless Bitmoji that you can do, and it's like a picture of you, like a little cartoon of you, and you're pointing up and you say, like, I know you read that. It is hilarious. I would use that sparingly, but it is hilarious.
I can't figure out how to get that app to work.
Oh, Tina, we can Zoom another time. You have to.
I can't figure it out.
You told me about that a long time ago, Angela.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I love it.
You guys, it's so funny. You have to get it. There's other, and then if they also have Bitmoji, there's Bitmojis with the 2 of you in it, like their Bitmoji and yours in the same one. It's very fun. And they're also on Snapchat for those Snapchatters.
You have way too much fun doing this.
I do. They're very funny. All right. Any other tips on sealing the deal? No?
I feel like I
do have one more. Sorry. Was someone else trying to say something? I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
I have one more, and I feel like some of it, honestly, is confidence. Is going into the situation and going into it saying, I am signing this person up right now. They want this. We've talked continually about this. I know they're ready. They're ready to join my team, or they're ready to try this product, and this is happening now. I couldn't say that to someone, but I can say that to myself in my own head. When you are contacting someone who you who you've talked to before, you've worked with before. Go into it with the confidence of, yep, this is happening now. Like now is when I'm doing this. So let's do it.
Haley, did you have another tip?
That's pretty much what I was going to say too, is that being confident and being consistent really, really does pay off. And I have used the, like, hey, I haven't pissed you off, have I? I know I get really excited about this business. Like, it's changed my life. But they usually do respond in wondering, like, you know, like, oh no, I didn't piss you off. So I use that one a lot as well. But just with being as confident as you can be, and as Jesse said, to like know that you own it regardless. Don't come off as desperate. Don't come off like you need them. Like, you are helping them through this product. They're going to want it. So you're just going to be the tool to give it to them.
And I also do like the old thought, like I just remember this, like when someone's like really not responding and I've sent them like maybe 3 or 4 messages and they see them and they don't respond, I really like stalk their page and try to find something else to bring up in a message to them just to get them to responding. And then once we have like a dialogue back and forth 2 or 3 times, then I'll be like, so are you really ignoring me about this at work stuff? What's going on? So I try to get them like the ball rolling, the snowball effect. They're going, they're chit-chatting, and then all of a sudden we throw it back in. So, all right, we have 10 minutes left. I think we should talk about momentum in this time of year, you guys, because it is huge. And summer comes and everyone gets busy going to the beach and doing things outside with their kids. So right now you need to set yourself up to have some success in summer and to tide you over till the exciting fall time starts too. So what tips do we have? I think everybody, a lot of you have been through a summer season already, but what kind of tips do we have for this momentum time? Someone besides me.
Just to keep your foot on that gas pedal. Don't let up. You need to be like as excited as you were when you first started. Like, these products, and the products alone, like, that's really where it comes down to, is when I started, being a product of the product is what made me so excited. And that's what people saw. And then they wanted to be a part of that. So I think making sure that you are being a product of the product, but incorporating it as a lifestyle throughout your posts. And that's, you're not posting ads, but you're showing people why they want this. And it'll make them so much more willing to like want to talk to you because you're helping them through what has helped you.
Well, and to kind of piggyback off of what Haley said a little bit is not just don't take your foot off the gas pedal, push it harder. Right now, I absolutely promise. I started my business in April. So actually, I think my 4th anniversary might be tomorrow. Tomorrow the 5th, I don't know. But it's coming up soon. But this time of year can be so, so, so magical. And I know that sounds cheesy to use the word magical, but it really, really can be, but you have to do the work to make it so. It's not just going to fall into your lap or into your team's lap. You've got to be the driving force to make that momentum happen. It's here. It's here right now, and we will all pull from each other. And this is a really exciting time where we'll work with our sidelines and do all of this because so much is happening, and we'll get exciting ideas and we'll get all those things, but it has to be led by you. It can't be led by somebody else, and your team needs to see it being led by you. Your team and newbies who you've signed the last 60, 90 days, they don't know what this is. And maybe some of you don't fully know what it is. But please trust me, this time of year is insane. The 4 months that are happening right now, this has been what has set me up for success every single year with my business. And knowing that if you put the time in from now until the beginning of June, it's going to pay back the rest of the year. And it's going to pay back really, really, really well if you work hard right now and if you help your teams. And if you teach them to work hard right now and if you lead them from the front. To me, that's a really big thing when you're working with your downline and with your teams, is lead from the front. Be available, answer questions, work your own business. I just said like 90 things right there. But I really do. I love this time of year so much. Every big promotion or every big jump that I've had in my business has been in March and April. March and April, or the push into that summertime. And I promise you guys, if you put in the work, you will be so stinking happy that you did, because you are gonna reap the rewards and the benefits of that all year long. But you've got to do it. It's got to be you.
And if you're not feeling excited, if you're in a slump, or because those things happen too, like borrow excitement from someone else, follow someone that makes you excited, talk to your upline, and schedule a strategy session. I know I do those with some of my teammates, and we just get together. We talk about charts. We talk about like who their list of PDTs are, how we're going to get them signed soon. And that really helps. That really helps your downline to feel supported. That can really help you if you're in a rut. I mean, I call Jesse from time to time being like, what's going on? So, I mean, you just have to, we're a team for a reason. We're here to support each other, and you need to rely on that. You're not alone in this. Even though you're in your house by yourself and we're all over the country, we're all here.
No, I found a lot of truth in that, honestly, because like the 90-day burst, I took that seriously. And looking back on the goals I wrote down, like I'm one promotion away from my goal that I thought was impossible in my 90-day challenge. And I'm running for the Go bonus. It's just like, you have to just stay consistent, because now with my growing team, like I've been listening to this and I've been coaching my team with questions. And I think the more you coach and the more that you continue to post is the more confident you get with the business. And sometimes it does seem redundant, but I'm like, you know what? I'm watching other sideline sisters and uplines like do amazing things, and they're just doing the basics. Like I can't forget about my business because I'm having a bad day, because someone's going to need it. And everybody that I've signed in the past like 2 months, it's because they've been watching me from the beginning. So, you know, sometimes it's slower, sometimes it's faster, but like you guys have been saying, like if we keep our foot on the gas, it's going to happen.
That is so true. I just got a message from a girl last night who I had reached out to. She joined Thrive, or whatever that company is that sells those patches. She joined Thrive like months ago. And I was like, oh, how's your Thrive business going? Do you really like it? And she's like, yeah, I totally love it. I looked back on our messages. And then last night, she's asking me about joining my team because Thrive burns her skin. So, you know, like, but she sees me, like, I don't personally know her. She's like a friend of my husband's. So she's been clearly like watching me consistently post on Facebook. And she reached out to me, like, talk about an easy lead, you know? So just staying consistent, being happy on Facebook, even when you have awful days. I mean, you guys all know this. I'm preaching to the choir here, but, you know, pass that along. I think it's an important tip. Kathleen, Dondi, Ashley, Mandy, any other pearls of wisdom?
This is basically what Haley and Jesse already talked about, but one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got was to do everything in your business with a sense of urgency. No one on your team and none of your potentials know how bad and how fast you need to do something. So you just have to, like Haley said, you have to put your foot on the gas. And like Jesse said, you have to just go, and you have to go really hard, and you can't stop. Like I know Mark said in the monthly video, you know, take a day to celebrate, but don't take a month to celebrate if you got a promotion. Like you just have to keep going.
I really like that, Ashley. And the other thing too is if you want to take a day to feel bad for yourself because something bad happened, take an hour. Don't take a month. Especially right now, especially in the springtime. If you didn't promote last month and you wanted to, if you had a dip in your paycheck, if your volume went down, that's okay. Take an hour, take a day, call a trusted friend, call someone, be angry for that short period of time, feel bad, and then push and then go. But thanks, Ashley. That was some good stuff. You're right. There is that sense of urgency that can so easily be forgotten.
And I'll say too, along with only feeling bad for yourself for like an hour instead of a month, Like if anybody knows the secret law of attraction, like you don't want to get sucked into that black hole of woe is me, because you're going to draw more negative things into your life. So if you sit there and think about it, and then you put yourself out there again, and you get back on your horse, and you think in your head, even if you really don't believe it, think in your head, like, I am a DT magnet. All these people want these products. I'm going to be a good friend. Like that's what's going to show that, but that's what you'll attract. So yeah, my worst months were months that I was sad for myself for not promoting, which are a lot of months, but you gotta laugh it off. Sorry, I had a glass of red wine, you guys. It's like a late birthday celebration. I'm like, all right, less than a minute. Thanks all for being on. I enjoy all your faces.
I do too. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Angela, for setting this up.
Sure. Hopefully there's enough space on my tablet to like transfer it and save it and go to YouTube. But if not, I hope that you all absorb every moment.
Thank you.
All right.